Here is the answer for the Day 2 Bellwork. Percent composition can be determined from actual measurements, like we did in the Day 1 problem, or from chemical formulas, because the formulas themselves were determined from experimental measurements. Question A, calculate the percent composition of ethane. And here we have the formula of ethane, C2H6. The first thing you need to do is find the molar mass of C2H6. On the periodic table, look up the mass of carbon, it's 12.011, and multiply by 2 because of the subscript on the C. Then we're going to add on the mass of hydrogen. Look up hydrogen, 1.0079 on the periodic table, and multiply by 6 because of the subscript of 6. 2 carbons and 6 hydrogens weighs 30.0694 grams per mole. That number is going to become the denominator of our ratio used to get the percent, just like how in yesterday's question our denominator was the total mass of our compound. To find the percent of carbon that's in ethane, we'll take the mass of 2 carbons, 24.022, and divide by that total mass, 30.0694, and multiply by 100 to change the decimal to a percent. The numerator, 24.022, is the mass of the 2 carbons. Again, we had done that earlier, right? When we looked up 12.011, it had times by 2. That result is our numerator. On the calculator, this math problem creates 80% if you round it. Now we can find the percent of hydrogen that's in ethane. Our numerator is the mass of the 6 hydrogens. That's the 1.0079 multiplied by 6. The mass of the 6 hydrogens is divided by the total molar mass, and you times by 100. When you round it, the result is 20%, which we expected, right? Because 80% plus 20% would make 100%. Once we know the percent composition of a compound from its formula, we can then use those percent compositions to figure out important information. For example, in question B, calculate the grams of carbon in 150 grams of ethane. Remember that carbon was 80% of ethane. So to do this question, we want to know 80% of 150 grams. I noticed I had typed the answer in earlier before actually recording my voiceover on this. Instead of 80%, I had written down the decimal that was originally on my calculator before rounding it. It was 79.889%. Up here I had rounded to 80%. So right here, that's where this is coming from. 0.79889 times 150 makes 120 grams. If you had 150 grams of ethane, then 120 grams of it is carbon. The rest of it would be hydrogen.